Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the other day we saw William Samoei Ruto complaining about his cabinet, which seemingly majority of them are clueless when it comes to knowing exactly what is happening in their specific ministries. And they're telling them that how can it be that the president knows more than what the minister in the specific ministries understand about those ministries. And after this remark from William Ruto, there is a video that has finally re-emerged online where John Mbadi critically explained what that cabinet means for William Ruto and the Kenyans at large. And I think anyone could predict what can happen. And indeed, John Mbadi was predicting, and in other words, he was prophesying. And that prophecy, actually, it has come to be fulfilled. Because Mbadi said that 60% of citizens that were vetted, they were unfit to hold these offices. They show very clear that they don't understand, they don't have experience, and they cannot easily adapt to learn quickly and move on. He pointed out that in William Ruto's appointment, what is coming out clear was that it looked like he was appointing the 2027 regional campaign managers. That means Ruto was rewarding the ministry position to those CSS at the back of his mind, thinking on how they are going to help to bring votes in the next general election. So if you can pull numbers, if you can bring votes, or if he can use you to get what he wants from your region, he can easily bring you on board. And that is how he constituted his cabinet. So he never focused on the issue of delivery of services to the people. That you can have a minister who can come out with the ideas, and those ideas can help the country to grow. There's none. If you can do that, according to Mbadi, close to 8 CSS can deliver, the rest cannot. It means then, and this is what is happening, the Ruto was going to be managing ministries from Statehouse using advisors. You appointed your cabinet, but it cannot deliver. So you have your advisors. You are using your advisors to run those ministries because you put there clueless people. Look at that. Didn't he talk about that? And answer is yes. He said that with his advisors, those ministers can seek advice from them to understand more of what they need to do, rather than just keeping quiet or assuming or thinking that someone is going to take over their office. So you see, Ruto was confirming that his advisors in the State House, they are better off to advise these ministers. But today it is happening that it is coming out clear that the president is running ministries using advisors from State House. Mambo ingine ilikuwa na mambo ya kupanga watu wa siasa kwa election ambayo inakuja. Look on the issue of corruption. He also mentioned out, and indeed, can he really fight corruption in this country? Kama uliachilia watu walikuwa na corruption wote, ukawafungulia, ukawaachilia, and then you are talking about corruption in various ministries. Can you fight? We saw a president who was encouraging corruption. So I want to listen to John Mbadi explaining what might happen by then in the case that cabinet was passed. And indeed, what Mbadi said, it is now happening. Listen to him shortly. You know, the difference between William Ruto, Kibaki, Moi, and the rest is that, at least for the other people, including Moi, they used to focus on awarding ministers who can bring meaningful advice to the cabinet. People who can think, people who can consult, people who can research. You come up with something that can help. So you become an advisor of the president, so that the president will find a reason to depend on you, but not a minister depending on president for advice. Inamaanisha wewe umekuwa supervisor hapo, president ana manage. So we are seeing a president who was focusing on, maybe he wanted like this, to run all these ministries from Statehouse. Sasa inakuwa ni simu anapiga. Unajua tukifika hapo pia inakuwa ni hatari. Because then if you reach here, unaenda kwa ile njia tunasema kwamba you have a president who can then start behaving like a dictator. Because then you look like you are clueless. So he has to tell you what to do. Go and check on the kind of cabinet Moi had. And someone was telling me, during Moi era, there was a time when, you know, when they were collecting taxes through, you know, they just come to your home and they decide, ule mzee wa mtaa na chief wanatoa labda kama ni jogoo mbili, wanashika ama ni tatu, wanashika kondoo, wanashika mbuzi, wanakuja wanachukua sufuria, hata mpaka sufuria, besheni, ununue radio unalipia license, electronic unalipia license. Inamaanisha every year you pay. So you see, in that way, even wale watu wa collect ushuru, they might not deliver even the rest of these items wamechukua. Zingine zilikuwa ni za kuwatajirisha. But you know how was KRA brought about? He had the right people. For example, by then we had Musalia Mudavadi who was working as the Minister for Finance. Go and check. KRA was the brainchild of Musalia Mudavadi. It brought a huge change, and the government was able to collect revenue in a way they can at least get more than what they were getting, and in that way you don't frustrate people. Hawa wa Ruto kuna mwenye anaweza kuja na such kind of a good idea to change, to at least, you know, bring something that can be adopted and it bring a positive result towards the people and the government itself. Hawa watu hawawezi. Na hapo ndo tumefika sasa. Hapo ndo mahali sasa watu wamefika. So with John Mbadi, I agree with him. What he said, indeed, it is now happening. Hawa watu hawawezi weza kazi. Ni wachache sana vile tu Mbadi anasema, close to 8. Wale wengine ni 12 ama 13. Hawa ni watu wa kungojea kupewa amri, wako tu pale like flower girls in those ministries. But Ruto is going to run all the ministries from Statehouse. That prophecy has been delivered.